Hello, my dearest students. Today we're going to discuss Macbeth Act 1, Scene 3. Please make sure that you watch this video until the end because we are going to discuss this scene in depth and also discuss what important questions might come. So, first, let's go through the gist of what happens in this scene. So, this scene takes place in a heath near forest. And Macbeth and Banquo encounter the three witches and they address Macbeth as the Thane of Glamis, the Thane of Cawdor, and also the future king. Macbeth says that it is understood that he is addressed as the Thane of Glamis after his father, who is Sinel, passed away, and therefore he has inherited as the Thane of Glamis. But he is shocked to know that he is addressed as the Thane of Cawdor because he believes that the Thane of Cawdor is still alive, and he is shocked and left speechless when he is predicted to be the future king. Then Banquo tells the three witches that he will never beg them for any favors, nor does he fear their hatred, but to give him a prophecy as well. So they told Banquo that he will not be the king, but his children will sit on the throne. However, after giving this prophecy, the three witches vanish. And Macbeth and Banquo are really confused if that was an illusion or whether they really encountered three witches. That is when they meet the Thane of Ross and Angus. And they give Macbeth a hint that he is to be addressed as the Thane of Cawdor, as the present Thane of Cawdor has been sentenced to death. Now, Macbeth is amazed that the witch's prophecy has come true. Then he asked Banquo what he thought about his children being the king and sitting on the throne. So Banquo that time tells Macbeth that the witches, they only tell half truths and they usually cause harm and confusion. Now Macbeth is speaking to himself about the possibility of being the king, and they start to depart to forest. And meanwhile Macbeth asks Banquo that whenever they get some time privately, that he would wish to speak to him about what has happened today. So this is the gist of what happens in this scene. Now let's go into the line by line explanation. So the scene takes place in the heath. Heath, I told you, is a barren waste land, and there is thunder, and three witches enter. The first witch says, "Where hast thou been, sister?" So where have you been, sister? The second witch says, "Killing swine," means killing pigs. The third witch says, "Sister, where were you?" So the first witch says, "A sailor's wife had chestnuts in her lap, and mounced and mounced and mounced. 'Give me,' quoth I." So the first witch says that a sailor's wife had chestnuts in her lap and she was munching and munching and munching and eating it. So the first witch asked the sailor's wife, saying, "Give me." "Aroint thee, witch," the rump-fed Ronion cried. So, what did the sailor's wife say? "Go away, witch." The rump-fed Ronion. So, rump-fed means well-fed. And Ronion is actually a term of abuse. They use in an abusing way, which means a trash eater. So, the witch calls the sailor's wife a rump-fed Ronion. That is a well-fed trash eater. Her husband's to Alpeco gone, master of the tiger. So, the first witch says that the husband has gone to Aleppo and he is the master of the ship. Tiger means ship. "But in a sieve I'll thither sail, and like a rat without a tail, I'll do, I'll do, I'll do." So what does the witch says? That in a sieve, in quickly, I will sail there, and like a rat without a tail. So it's a belief that these witches can transform into animals, but because they are witches or evil creatures, they can't transform perfectly into another animal, and that is why it has no tail. So, what does the first witch intend to do? She will do mischief on the ship and make sure that the journey of the ship gets extended. The second witch says, I'll give thee a wind. So, I will give you wind so that you can sail there easily. The first witch says, thou art kind, you are kind. And the third witch says, and I another. So, I will give you some more of wind. So, the first witch says, I myself have all the other, and the very ports they blow, all the quarters that they know. I, the shipman's card. So the first witch says, I myself have control of all the other winds, the very ports from where they blow, all the directions that they could go, because I have the knowledge of the sailor's compass. And what does the first witch intend to do? I will drain him dry as hay. What is hay? Hay is dried grass. So it is itself is very dry. So she's saying she will drain the life out of him. So she wants to exhaust him totally. Sleep shall neither night nor day hang upon his penthouse lid. He shall live, a man forbid. So this could be important. What all does the witch intend to do? Intend to do? So the first one is to drain him as dry as hay. That is to exhaust him completely. The second is make sure that he does not get even a wink of sleep, neither during the night nor during the day. Hang upon his penthouse lid means his eyelid, and his eyelid is going to look like a sloped roof without any sleep. And he shall live, a man forbid means he shall live like a cursed man, weary sin night, 9 times 9. So tired, weary means tired, exhausted, weary, a week 9 times 9. So 9 times 9 is 81. So for 81 weeks, he is going to be exhausted and tired. And shall he dwindle, peak and pine. Though his bark cannot be lost, yet it shall be tempest tossed. Look what I have. And then she says that he shall wither away and grow thin and waste away. Also, she says that though his bark cannot be lost, means his ship cannot be lost, but it shall be tossed away by the storm. Because if you know, witches can control the weather as well as the wind. So she will make sure that his journey becomes miserable. And then she says, look what I have. The second witch says, show me, show me. The first witch says, here I have a pilot's thumb, wrecked as homeward he did come. So here the witch has the thumb of a pilot, and he was returning home and his ship was wrecked. So usually it is believed that these witches, they used parts of bodies where they use it for their witchcraft. Drum within. The third witch says, a drum, Macbeth.come. So Macbeth has come. So all the three witches say, the weird sisters hand in hand, posters of the sea and land, does do go about. So as soon as they come to know that Macbeth is coming, so they say the weird witches are holding hands, calling themselves the swift travelers of sea and land, and they go round and round, thrice to thine, thrice to mine, and thrice again to make up 9. So thrice in your direction, thrice in my direction, and thrice again so that it makes up 9. Peace, the charms wound up. So 3 and multiples of 3 is considered to be magical. So they are saying once they are gone round and make up 9, they say the charm is completely ready. That is when Macbeth and Banquo enter. And Macbeth says, so foul and fair a day I have not seen. So I have not seen a day that was so good and bad at the same time. Banquo says, how far it is called to forest. So how far are we from forest? What are these so withered and so wild in their attire? So he's asking, what is that is so shriveled and so wild in the way that they dress, that look not like the inhabitants of the earth. So they don't look that like they live on earth, yet are on it. And yet they are here. Live you? So are you alive? Or are you ought? Or are you anything that a man may question? So are you something that we can question you? You seem to understand me. So he's saying it also seems like you are understanding what I'm saying. So here we can come to know that Banquo is quite confused at looking at the witches. And each one of you have placed your chapped fingers upon her skinny lips. You should be women. So he's saying it seems like you should be women, yet your beards forbid me to interpret that you are so. But your beards keep me from believing that you are women. Macbeth says, speak if you can. What are you? The first witch says, all hail Macbeth, hail to thee, Thane of Glamis. So the first witch says, all hail Macbeth, hail to you. So she's addressing him as the Thane of Glamis. The second witch says, all hail Macbeth, hail to you, the Thane of Cawdor. And the third witch says, all hail Macbeth, that shall be king hereafter, who shall be king in the future. Banquo says, good sir, why do you start and seem to fear things that do sound so fair? Aye, the name of truth. So Banquo is asking Macbeth, oh good Macbeth, why are you why are you startled? Why are you surprised? And you seem to be slightly frightened of things that sound so good. So they have predicted such good things for you. And then Banquo says, tell the truth. Are ye fantastical, or that indeed which outwardly you show? So are you an illusion, or are you something that you really appear to show? My noble partner. So you have greeted my noble partner with his present grace, means which is with his current title. And you have also given him a great prediction. So what is the present title? He is the Thane of Glamis. And also they have greeted him with a great prediction, which is the Thane of Cawdor, and also having a royal hope. That is, they have predicted him to be the king. That has made him speechless because of the prediction that you have done. To me you speak not, but you have not told me. If you can look into the seeds of time and say which grain will grow and which will not. So if you can really look into the future and say what things will happen and what will not. Speak then to me. So then tell me, who neither beg nor fear your favor nor your hate. So I do not beg you for any favors, nor do I fear your favors. So I do not fear you. I am not going to beg you. And I do not fear your hatred. So after that, the first which says, hail, second, and the third which says, Hail, hail. The first which says, lesser than Macbeth and greater. So, though you are lesser than Macbeth, but you are greater than Macbeth also. The second which says, not so happy, yet much happier. So, you will be not very happy, but you will be happier than Macbeth. And the third which says, thou shalt get kings, though thou be none. Means you will not be a king, but your descendants will be kings. And they will be on the royal throne. So all hail Macbeth and Banquo. The first which says, Banquo and Macbeth, all hail. Stay, you imperfect speakers, tell me more. So Macbeth is saying, stay, wait, tell us. You are very unclear or uncertain, or what you are speaking is very obscure. By Sinel's death, I know I am Thane of Glamis. So by my father's death, Sinel, I know that I am Thane of Glamis. But how am I the Thane of Cawdor? The Thane of Cawdor lives, he is alive. So Macbeth seems confused. A prosperous gentleman and to be king stands not within the prospect of belief, no more than to be Cawdor. So Macbeth is saying that the Thane of Cawdor is alive and he is a very prosperous gentleman. So he is rich and strong. And me to be the king, it is unbelievable or impossible to believe that I am going to be the king, and it is also impossible for me to believe that I am going to be the Thane of Cawdor. Say from whence you owe the strange intelligence. So he's asking, from where have you possessed such strange information? Or why upon this blasted heath you stop our way with such prophetic greeting? Speak, I charge you. He's also asking the witches, why have you stopped us in such a desolate heath in this place where there is nothing? And why have you stopped with such prophetic greetings? Speak, I command you. But the witches vanish. Banquo says, the earth hath bubbles and the water has, and these are of them. Whither are they vanished? So Banquo says, the earth has bubbles and water also has bubbles. And they have also come from such a bubble. But where have they vanished to? Macbeth says, into the air, and what seemed corporal melted as breath into the wind. Would they have stayed? So Macbeth says that they have vanished into thin air, and what seemed like something solid or material has melted, and just like breath, they have gone into the wind. And Macbeth also says, I wish they would have stayed. Banquo says, were such things here as we do speak about, or have we eaten on the insane root that takes the reason prisoner? So Banquo is saying, what we are speaking about, was that real, or have we eaten on some root that has given us hallucinations, and so that our reasoning is not right, it has been imprisoned. Macbeth says, your children shall be kings. So Banquo says, you shall be king. Macbeth and Thane of Cawdor too. Went it not so? Is that not what they said? Banquo says, to the self same tune and words. Yes, that's exactly what they said. Who's here? And that is when the Thane of Ross and Angus enter. Ross says, the king has happily received Macbeth. So Ross says the king was happy to receive the news, Macbeth, the news of thy success, the news of your success. And when he reads thy personal venture in the rebels' fight, his wonders and his praises do contend. which should be thine or his, silenced with that. So, when the king got to know about your success and when he read about the story of your heroism in your fight against the rebels, he was wonderstruck and amazed, and his praises were kept to himself because he struggled to speak aloud and he was rendered speechless. In viewing over the rest of the selfsame day, he finds thee in the stout Norwegian ranks, nothing afraid of what thyself didst make, strange images of death, as thick as hail. So he says, when the king came to know that on the same day you fought the Norwegian army also, and you were not at least afraid to kill everyone around you. So he says, death takes horrible and strange forms. Came post with post, and everyone did bear thy praises in his kingdom's great defence, and poured them down before him. And messenger after messenger, everyone did come with the praise of how you defended his kingdom, and they poured all this news before him. And Angus says, we are sent to give thee from our royal master thanks. So we have come to say thanks from the king himself, only to herald thee into his sight, not pay thee. So we are only supposed to bring you to him, and the real reward won't come from us, but he is going to give you the real reward for your bravery and for how you defended his kingdom. Ross says, and for an earnest of a great honor, he bade me from him to call thee Thane of Cawdor, in which addition hail, most worthy Thane, for it is thine. So Ross says, let me give you a hint of a great honor that is being bestowed upon you. And he asked me to call you the Thane of Cawdor. So in addition to the title you have, now you have another title. So you are the most worthy Thane. For this title, the Thane of Cawdor is yours. Banquo comes aside and says, what? Can the devil speak true? So he is shocked because of the prophecy of the witches which has come true. Macbeth says, the Thane of Cawdor lives. Why do you dress me in borrowed robes? So what Macbeth is trying to say here is, the Thane of Cawdor is still alive. Then why are you addressing me with his title? And why are you giving me a borrowed title? Why are you addressing me in a borrowed title? Angus says, who was the Thane, lives yet, but under heavy judgment bears that life. So Angus says, yes, the Thane of Cawdor lives as of now, but he is under a heavy judgment. What's the heavy judgment that the king has passed against him? Which is a death sentence to kill him. So he bears that life which he deserves to lose, but he is going to lose that life and he deserves to die. But whether he combined with those of the Norway, so whether he helped the Norwegian army and the king, or did he help the rebellious MacDonald? So whether he secretly helped only one of them or he helped them both, and whether he conspired against his country, I do not know. But treason's capital confessed and proved have overthrown him. But his treason has been confessed and it has been proved that he has conspired against his country and therefore he has lost his title. That is why the Thane of Cawdor has lost his title, because it has been proved and confessed that he was a conspirator against his own country. He was a rebel. Macbeth, when he's alone, says, Glamis? And the Thane of Cawdor? So now I have two titles. So he says the greatest is behind, means the greatest part is yet to come. What is that? For him to become the king. Then he tells to Ross and Angus, thanks for your pain. So thank you for taking the pain to come and give me the news. Then he tells to Banquo, do you not hope your children shall be kings? So are you not hoping that your children are going to sit on the throne? When those that gave the Thane of Cawdor to me promised no less to them. So those witches that gave me the title of Thane of Cawdor also promised that they would also have a chance to sit on the royal throne. So Banquo says that trusted home might yet enkindle you onto the crown, besides the Thane of Cawdor. But it's strange, and oftentimes to win us to our harm. The instruments of darkness tell us truths, win us with honest trifles, to betrays in deepest consequence. Cousins, a word, I pray you. This part is important because Banquo realizes that they should not trust the witches blindly. So Banquo says, Macbeth, if you trust them fully, then you might be on the way to the crown, that is to become the king, besides the Thane of Cawdor. But isn't that strange? And oftentimes, to gain our trust, that means to win us over and then to do us harm. These instruments of darkness, means these evil people, they tell us truths of small matter to win us over. Then, in a large matter, they are going to betray us. So Banquo is telling, they told you a small truth that you will be the Thane of Cawdor, but they might betray you when it comes to them telling you something about you becoming the king. Gentlemen, a word, please. So now Macbeth is alone and he's saying, two truths are told. And the two things that they told me have come true. As happy prologues to the swelling act of the imperial theme, I thank you, gentlemen. He's saying that since two truths are told which came true, I believe that it will culminate or end with the fact that I am going to have the imperial throne. I am going to be the king. Then, aside, he says, this supernatural soliciting cannot be ill. It cannot be good. If ill, why has it given me earnest of success? So now Macbeth is contemplating. He's saying the supernatural temptation, it cannot be bad, but it cannot be good also. But if it was bad, then why was I given a title and it turned out to be true? I am Thane of Cawdor. If good, why do I yield to that suggestion? So now Macbeth is thinking, if it is good, then why am I ending up thinking of something bad? So why am I thinking of an image of murdering King Duncan? And the thought itself is unfix my hair means making my hair stand on its end and making my seated heart knock at my ribs. So it is making my heart pound so much inside my chest against the use of nature. So why are my thoughts going against my natural thoughts? Present fears are less than horrible imaginings. My thoughts, whose murder yet is but fantastical, shakes so my single state of man that function is smothered in surmise, and nothing is but what is not. So Macbeth saying all the fighting, the battle, all those dangers that threatened me here, I was less scared, but of my imagination, of my thoughts, I am more scared of that. He's saying my thoughts, whose murder yet is but fantastical, means my thoughts. And the murder, even though it is just a fantasy now, it is just an imagination. So he's saying my very thoughts are shaking my very sense of self, and my ability to act is blocked by what really matters to me. And he says that my ability to act is blocked, and what really matters to me are things that are not even there or that don't even exist. So Macbeth is having thoughts of murdering King Duncan, and he's saying, even if my thoughts are not even real, it has not even come into reality, committing a murder has shooken me so much that I hardly know who I am anymore. My very sense of self is shook, and my ability to act is blocked. Banco says, look how our partner's wrapped. Means, look how Banco is all absorbed and he's in a daze. Macbeth, who is aside, says, if chance will have me king, why chance may crown me without my stir? So, if destiny has appointed me to be king, then without any effort from my side, I will be crowned the king. Banquo says, new honors come upon him, like our strange garments, cleave not to their mold, but with the aid of use. So he's saying this new title that has come to him has come has a shock to him. He's not yet used to it, and he's comparing it to like new clothes, where until you keep wearing them for a while, they don't fit as well. Just like them, it will take some time for him. It will take a bit of a habit for him to get used to the new title. So Banquo is saying that Macbeth will get used to his title in some time or in a while. So Macbeth is aside and he says, come what come may, time and the hour runs throughout the roughest day. So no matter what happens, one or the other way, what is going to happen will definitely happen. So he means to say that things are inevitable, and even after a longest day, everything will come to an end. Banquo says, worthy Macbeth, we stay upon your leisure. So we are waiting for you, we are ready, and whenever you are ready, let's leave. So Macbeth says, give me your favor, my dull brain was wrought. Macbeth apologized to Banquo and says, forgive me, sorry, my brain was occupied. And I was occupied with thoughts that were forgotten. Kind gentlemen, your pains are registered, where every day I turn the leaf to read them. So he's saying that I will never forget the trouble that you have taken for me today, and whenever I turn to this page or to this part of my life, I will remember it. Now let us go towards the king. Then to Banquo he says, think upon what hath chanced, and at more time, the interim having weighed it, let us speak our free hearts each to other. So he says, let us think about what has happened today, and after we have thought about it, let us speak freely to each other. And Banquo says, very gladly, absolutely, let's do that. Then Macbeth says, till then enough. Come, friends. So till then, we will keep quiet. Enough said. Let's go. And they exit. So that is the end of the scene. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. Please share it among your friends. And if you haven't subscribed, please do that right now. Please remember, drops and drops of water makes a mighty ocean. So make sure you work hard every day, and then when it is the time for your examination, you will definitely reap the success of your hard work. I'm praying for you. God bless.